What the heck are peptides? I like to call them regenerative medicine because really what they're doing is they're going in to regenerate your cells back to their youthful state.
Welcome to the Biohack Method. I am Lindsay Burwell. I break down the science, cut the fluff, and give you real tools to optimize your body with peptides, transdermal patches, and root cause biohacking that actually works.
Welcome back to the Metabolic Method podcast. Today, we're diving into all things peptides. Specifically, what are the protocols that I work with, that I love, that I think are super regenerative? But before I dive into all my favorite peptides, I want to really build the foundation of what are peptides. And it's been so fun, I'll say, in the 2 years to see the evolution of people's understanding and just knowledge of peptides. 2 years ago, when I was first doing consults on peptides, I would say 1 out of every 5 people I met with, maybe knew about peptides, but really didn't know a lot. So there's a lot of education and whatnot going into explaining what they are. Fast forward to now, I would say 3 out of every, maybe even 4 out of every 5 people that I meet, they've heard the word peptides, they kind of know, they still don't know all the things. It's really a whole nother world. I feel like sometimes it even feels like Chinese because the different protocols and the different names are just so much. So if we really just break down what the heck are peptides? I like to call them regenerative medicine because really what they're doing is they're going in to regenerate your cells back to their youthful state. So if you look at the core of what a peptide is, they're just branch chain amino acids, which are really the building blocks of proteins that are naturally occurring already in our body. So these different peptide protocols that contain these very specific sequences of amino acids go in to target different areas of the body to bring them back to their youthful state. And truly, they are so profound. I call them the needle movers because it's one of those things where I've tried everything, the supplements, my body's not absorbing it. I've tried the diet, the lifestyle. We can implement these peptides because they go straight into the bloodstream and they are so effective. There's different ones to boost metabolism, to heal your gut, to help with anxiety and cortisol. There's some for sugar metabolism. There's some for fat burning. Truly, the sky is the limit. Immune boosting, you have it. Another thing that's really important to know about peptides is that there's a lot out there and there's different categories. So you have your pharmaceutical peptides, right? These are the ones you go to your doctor, they write you a script, you go to a pharmacy and they write up that peptide for you. So you may know of Ozempic, for example. So that is considered a pharmaceutical drug. However, there is one active peptide in Ozempic, and that one is called semaglutide. So the rest of the Ozempic really is the pharmaceutical components, fillers, preservatives, things like that. So the difference between that and what a researching clinical peptide is that researching clinical peptides are just the amino acids. So what I've done is I've worked with a manufacturer to source these peptides, and then we do third-party testing for purity, for effectiveness, and that's where we have these great protocols to support you in the different things that you might be working on. I can't stress enough how quality does matter. I've met with clients who have tried the more pharmaceutical route and had unwanted symptoms that were really intense. They couldn't control the dosing. They couldn't control the activation of the peptide. And so what's nice with our protocols is you can get them shipped direct to you. You get the bacterial static water to activate. You get to control the dosing and you get to see the quality, right? These are just the amino acids with that third-party testing. So super convenient, super accessible now, and high quality. And I like to tell clients, I feel like in 5 years, peptides are going to be more accessible. This is just me just projecting my own thoughts into the universe, but I feel like right now, you have big pharma gatekeeping peptides, which they really can't because you can't patent them because they're naturally occurring compounds, but they make it seem like you need to go through this pharmaceutical process to get them, but you really don't. You have research peptides, you have clinical peptides, and I really believe in 5 years, things are going to calm down sometimes where you can probably even go to the grocery store to get them or a health food store. I truly believe it. They are branch chain amino acids. They're just very potent, but there's nothing crazy about them. You just can't patent them. So there's a little gray area with them. Okay, so here are the different protocols on the peptides that I work with that I'm completely obsessed with. So we have the GLPs, and I'm going to explain like how that works because I'm very passionate about GLP. We have NAD, an energy protocol. We have a gut healing protocol. We have an anti-aging protocol, cortisol fix. Hello, it's so amazing. The focus protocol, like so much better than ADHD medicine. The glow protocol. This is all the rage and like the aesthetic world, the facial world. Hormone balancing protocol, so much better than taking bioidentical hormones. Immunity protocol, the liver detox, the longevity, the metabolism, which we've actually rebranded as the shredder because it literally shreds you, the repair, and then the tanning. Like, I have clients who are like, I don't know, I want them all. I'm like, me too. They're so fun. And it is like cycling, dosing, all that is so important, but there is like a lot of great things you can do with these. So let's dive into these. So we have GLP 1, 2, and 3. I want to explain the history of GLPs. So the GLPs have been around a long time. Semaglutide, right? Ozempic. This peptide, this like drug was actually created for diabetics, right? To help regulate blood sugar and insulin. And what happened a few years ago was that biohackers and people who understood like biology and fat burning knew that, wait, if you want to burn fat, it has so much to do with blood sugar and insulin. Why aren't we utilizing these diabetic peptides to tap into our own biology to flip on that switch for more metabolic flexibility? Why aren't we like microdosing that? Why aren't we utilizing that more on a preventative basis before we get to the point of diabetes, before we get to the point of like Alzheimer's, things like that? Like, why can't we use it like a tool instead of something to like cure after it's already become a problem? And so that's where a few years ago, Ozempic got so huge. People were taking it. They were losing tons of weight. Now, we've learned a lot since then. We've learned, okay, you don't want to macro dose this. You don't want to take the standard dose. Maybe the pharmaceutical route may or may not be for you. Diet, exercise is key here. Like, it's the most like low effective dose is where the money's at. But here's what's amazing. I want to go back to GLPs were not created for weight loss. They were created to heal blood sugar and insulin. But the byproduct of a healthy cell when you have blood sugar and insulin fixed is weight loss. Like, you lose weight when your body is healthy. You don't like lose weight and then you get healthy. We have that turned around sometimes. And so that is so powerful to know. And that's why so many people experience such amazing results on GLPs, because literally they're fixing the root of the problem, which is blood sugar and insulin. And I'll tell you a little secret. Most metabolic diseases is rooted in this. You can almost fix everything in your body if you fix insulin and glucose. And they say 97% of Americans are metabolically inflexible, meaning they have a sugar metabolism problem. So all of us truly can benefit from this because of the way of the world we live in. Our diet, our sleep, our stress, our lack of micronutrients in our soil. The list truly goes on. We're snacking, we're eating late, we're not fasting, we're not living in like circadian rhythm and how our body was biologically designed to heal and thrive. So it affects blood sugar. So let's talk about the differences. I get this all the time, and I will do more of a deep dive like on the differences, but just to give you a taste. So you have GLP-1 semaglutide, GLP-2, that is tirzepatide, and GLP-3, which is retatrutide.
Okay, quick pause because I need to tell you about something that's literally changing the game for metabolism, energy, detox, and even your immune health. You guys know I do not waste my time with gimmicks, and that is why I created the patch method. Also because people are tired of taking pills. All the clients I have seen, we are tired of taking the pills and we don't even know if we're actually absorbing it.
These are all amazing. How you break this up is GLP-1 semaglutide is going to target hunger. It's going to blunt the hunger. It's going to take away the sweets, the treats, the cravings for carbs and all the sugars, right? Which is so nice. So many people say, oh, it's like the food noise finally went away and I can think clearly. It's like the food noise went away and I'm not prisoned by what to eat, what not to eat. There's a very freeing experience when you are not obsessively thinking about food. Not that everyone is, but I find some of us are, right? And so having that support is amazing. The byproduct of you not eating all the time and snacking all the sugars is going to be regulated blood sugar insulin, is going to be reduction of inflammation, is going to be weight loss. So semaglutide, tried and true, so amazing. And a lot of people have great results with that. Let's talk about tirzepatide. So the difference between tirzepatide and semaglutide is that, again, semaglutide is just GLP-1, just the appetite. Tirzepatide is a GLP and the GIP, which is more insulin and blood sugar. So you're hitting two receptors, and it's doing a little bit more of a medicinal thing. What I will say is the appetite curve is not as blunt. So for somebody who really needs that food noise dialed in, maybe even just for a few months, maybe during the holidays, they will do better on semaglutide in that sense. But GLP-2 is more mild symptomatically, meaning if you have gastrointestinal problems, if you're sensitive like that, semaglutide can do some adjusting in that area, and you might feel it a little more even on a microdose. So tirzepatide could be really powerful, but really it enhances metabolism, improves glucose regulation, optimizes lipid profiles. It can improve sleep. There's so many benefits. I can go on and on. I've seen clients get off thyroid medication, autoimmune stuff heal itself, migraines go away. Obviously the weight loss is amazing, mental clarity, food freedom. There's so many amazing studies. Even I could just go on and on about like new neural pathways in the brain being created from this peptide. It's the chef's kiss. It really is. Okay, GLP-3. So this one's retatrutide, and this one's really powerful because this one is the new girl on the block. And actually, you guys, I think we're going to be seeing more exciting GLPs in the future. This is just the beginning, and it makes me excited because I'm all about blood sugar. But GLP-3, how I would categorize it is basically you have it hitting three receptors, right? So it's hitting the GLP, so that's the appetite curve and the suppression of those cravings for the sweets and treats and carbs. It's also hitting that GIP, which is the insulin and glucose, so super medicinal for sugar metabolism, right? And then it's also activating a glucagon receptor, which is what happens with liposis, where your body converts fat into energy. So what I see with clients is by week 3, they're like, I have so much energy, because literally their body is in a fat burning machine. I have seen clients just push through a plateau when they activate that receptor because their body is really utilizing that fat energy source. What I will say is because it's hitting 3 receptors, the appetite curve is not as blunt, and that can be confusing for clients because they're like, I'm still hungry, so it feels like it's not working when actually it's a triple threat. It's just activating 3 different things. So think about it. 5 units of GLP-1 would be like, for a 5 unit of GLP-2 would be like 2.5 each, right? So it's like splitting between 2 things. And then for GLP-3, it's splitting into 3. So it's like you sometimes need more. If you want more of an appetite curve, you can also co-dose it with both GLP-1, GLP-3. There's so many ways to like dose and dice. And honestly, I think GLP-3 is amazing, but it truly, like, which one's best for you? It comes down to like your current symptoms, what you're sensitive to, your craving profile. Like some people just don't get cravings. Perfect. You should do GLP-3. It's amazing. Any kind of plateaus you've been on, and also cycling in between the different ones is also really powerful. Okay, let's talk about NAD and the energy protocol. So anytime I see clients, when I do metabolic scans for them, if they have an energy production issue, they need some NAD. And this is the perfect way to do it because it gets right into the bloodstream. You cannot take NAD orally. You will not absorb it. And so this one is just boosting cellular energy by enhancing mitochondrial function. It increases vitality, improving overall physical performance. All of our cells need energy to function. And so NAD is so powerful for that. It also is really great for aging. It's really great for anti-aging, especially when you hit 40s, 50s and NAD slowly starts to decline. We need energy. Our cells need energy to do all their jobs. Let's look at the next one. We are looking at the oral gut healing protocol. This one's amazing, BPC right through your gut. So if you have any leaky gut, inflammation in the gut, and you want to target that gut repair, you can do an oral one, and that one is phenomenal. The anti-aging protocol. So this one will help to stimulate natural growth hormone in the body. This does support cellular repair and regeneration. It improves skin elasticity, muscle tone, body composition. But here's why it's doing that. So when you are like a baby, you're born, you have all this growth hormone, right? That's why you have lots of energy, you sleep hard, all that good stuff. You build muscle. And when you get older, growth hormone really starts to drop at 45, 50 years old. That's where you could start feeling, I'm just like tired, I can't lift it heavy, I'm not recovering well, I don't sleep good. That's where, like, when I see people get on the CJC Ipamorelin, boom, they feel like they're back in their 30s. They feel like they're back in their 20s. They're lifting heavier. When you're lifting heavier, when you're doing more, when you're more active, the byproduct is better metabolism, better body composition, better sleep, better recovery. So all these benefits are truly just coming from the increased growth hormone. But what I will say, I don't really think women or men really need to get on this one until you've hit like mid 40s, because that's really where growth hormone starts to go down. And I'm like, save your money for something different until you hit that time frame and you just like tap into your knowing in your body to know, okay, I actually do need the growth hormone. When you do need it, you know it, and it feels amazing. Little testimony here. My grandma loved to just lay in bed all day. No joke. Like we were like, do something, exercise, get out of bed all the time. She wasn't sick. She just had no energy. She's 75. I don't know. Anyway, we just got her started on this. She's another woman. She goes out for coffee, goes out for walks. She swims. She told me literally she feels like she was just given a new life, a second chance to live. And I'm like, oh my gosh, grandma, like this is amazing. Truly. It was like the coolest statement she has ever said. The cortisol fix. Okay. So this one's amazing. If you have stress, if you're running on adrenals, if you are like looking into antidepressant, anti-anxiety, start with this. Okay. Antidepressants, anti-anxiety, there is a time and a place. And I love that we have access to that. But what's great and what's different is let's do some internal healing, and peptides can go in to do that regenerative work versus taking something to curb all that. So it reduces stress, it regulates cortisol levels, which helps with hormonal balance, right? It improves cognitive function, focus, mental clarity, it boosts stability, overall brain health. Like truly, Samax is the way to go if you're needing some cortisol TLC. The focus one, okay, if you need ADHD, if you cannot focus, or if you have ADHD, you cannot focus, or you're working through a project, or maybe, you've been on some medication for ADHD, try the focus protocol. This is so link. This one also reduces anxiety and stress, but it really enhances like focus, memory, and cognitive performance. I'm totally going to take this like before I do my podcast live launch. I just think it's going to be so great because it's going to dial in that focus, and who doesn't love that? So that's the focus protocol. The glow protocol, we love this one. This one it's actually purple. It's so amazing. It's a copper peptide, which if you really dig into PubMD and the literature on this, it actually increases stem cell activity in the body. There's a lot of like autoimmune stuff that it's going in to work on, but it's known in the beauty and cosmetic industry as truly the glow. So it stimulates collagen, elastin. It helps with hair regrowth. I call it like the better Botox, better than Botox. I've actually never spent money on Botox before because I put my money into this glow peptide. It strengthens hair follicles. It supports skin repair. I've actually even had some clients do it in their gut and seen really great results. So we love the glow protocol. The next one is the hormone balancing one. This one I am so tender to because I don't do hormone replacement therapy, and I feel like it's being pushed younger and younger. Women are like, I have no T, and you're 30 years old, and all the things. And so the difference between taking Kisspepin, the hormone peptide, versus let's say hormone replacement therapy or bioidentical hormones is that bioidentical hormones are replacing your body's hormones with exogenous hormones, right? Saying, here you go, body, here it is in the direct form. You don't need to do it anymore. You don't need to make it anymore. We got you. Versus a hormone peptide goes in to repair that HPA axis responsible for estrogen, progesterone, and testosterone. So your body will be able to naturally recreate those hormones on its own. So it's amazing for reproductive health, libido, overall just endocrine function. I always tell people like do 1 or 2 cycles of this and then maybe consider the HRT. I really think it's such a great way to go, especially because you could overdose very easily, get dysregulated on estrogen. Like the whole HRT world needs to be more monitored, I believe. Okay, the immunity protocol. I'm going to have this on deck for cold and flu season. This one is going to strengthen your body's immune response and enhance the body's ability to fight off infections. Who doesn't want that? Oh my gosh, this winter, this is going to be amazing. It also reduces inflammation, supports recovery from illness. It's just like overall a huge boost of immune support. And that is thymosin alpha 1. It is going to be such a great go-to for me this winter. The liver detox, I take this one on the regular. I love me some glutathione, and you cannot take it orally. It has to be either liposomal injection or via transdermal delivery. It promotes liver detoxification, protects against oxidative stress on our cells, supports healthy skin, immune function, cellular repair, and it's just an overall great antioxidant and support for detox. That is glutathione. Let's look at the longevity protocol. If you're into longevity, that's your thing. I can't tell you enough about epitalin. So that one just supports healthy aging by literally, it's been shown to extend telomere length. Extend your lifespan. How crazy is that? Just through cellular regeneration. It also can improve sleep, improves overall just like rest and like rest quality, all that good stuff. This is like the tried and true longevity one. The next one is the metabolism boost, which we are now calling the shredder because it literally shreds all the fat. It's doing 3 different things though. So it has some B vitamins, methylated. We love that for mood, metabolism, energy. It also has L-carnitine and arginine, which is great for fat metabolism to support weight loss, body composition, literally turning that fat into energy. It also supports liver function because it has clonine and methionine. It's going to be those cofactors for your liver detox. So think energy, detox, and fat burn. Literally, it's so good. I will take it before a workout and you will have to drag me out of the gym because how good I feel. And it is a red vial, so it looks fun. And then we have the repair protocol. So this one basically just accelerates healing of the muscles and tissues. We combine it with BPC 157, TB 500 for a synergistic powerhouse. It's going to reduce inflammation, promote faster recovery from injuries, support joint health, flexibility, overall tissue repair. It is truly so good. All the athletes use it when they go down with any kind of ailment because no one has time to be down, right? So if you feel like you are not recovering well, maybe you have a past injury that's not recovering well, this is such a great protocol for you. Or maybe you want to use it for inflammation. I've seen people do it for that, for a workout, inflammation, post-recovery. Like the sky's the limit. It's just awesome. Okay, tanning one. This is the last one. People think this is a joke, but it's for real and I use it. I have not touched my self tanner since January and it is August. It's August. Okay, so what it does is it increases melanin in your skin. So people who have that like naturally glowy tan skin have more melanin than someone who's like me who has more fair skin. So what the peptide doing? It's increasing melanin. So you naturally become tan and it's so amazing. It is like a deeper, long-lasting tan, but also provides UV protection. This is so crazy because I wore this in Hawaii, or I used it for Hawaii. I did not get burned. And I was like trying to get burned. I was like, burn, like just for an experiment. Like it's not good to get burned, but it was truly amazing. And all summer I had the best tan. I still have the best tan. So you start with daily dose until you reach your desired tan. And then once you do, you can titrate back down to more maintenance. So maybe instead of every day, you do once a week or even once a month. I don't even take it once a month. I take it like whenever. Truly, I'm like, oh, I need a little tanning boost today. I'll take it. And boom, I'm great. So supports skin health, reduces sun damage. Truly love that one. Of course, medical disclaimer, all of this information is just from my own research, from my own education, and just from my own anecdotal data from working with clients, using it on myself. If you have any questions, for sure, ask someone that you trust, a provider, whoever. Do your own due diligence, tap into your own inner knowing, your own body. Your body will tell you what you need and what feels right. But I just love to share the information about peptides because I truly believe they are a game changer. I have seen them totally transform my clients' lives. And if you do decide to work with us with peptides, I work with the natural peptides. These are just the amino acid peptides. And I have created a peptide portal, which just gives more like community support, resources to maximize your results, from nutrition to exercise to supplements to activate and enhance your results, along with community chat, weekly coach or weekly trainings, truly all that you need. Because I do believe like peptides are not supplements you just go to the store and buy and do whatever. Like having guidance, having support really makes a difference and can make or break your results. And if you ever have any questions, please feel free to reach out. You can DM me. You can go to support@thenaturalpeptides.com. But I hope you found this helpful and I'm sure we will be in touch so soon.
That's it for today's episode of the Biohack Method. If this lit something up in you, do me a favor, share it, tag me at Lindsay Burwell Wellness and drop a review. Ready to dive deeper? Head to the show notes for peptides, patches, and programs that are changing the game for high-performing women like you.